patterns. So most people get a vision, but without nervous system and emotional alignment, they default to old patterns. We've all experienced this, where we've got those reoccurring loops or behaviors or inner critics or emotional bodies, again, depending on which triad is disconnected, that self-sabotage us, that leave us looping internally, that keep us up at night wondering why, going into shame spirals, drama triangles, all the distinctions that you may have ever learned at Untapped, and the thousands of people that have learned our distinctions know that it all kind of leads to this simple truth, is there's an old way and there's a new way. There's a left road we can go on, which is the familiar, and there's the new way, which is into the vision, into the highest version of ourselves, into that new path or pattern along the river of change. Now, the river of change, I know this is a metaphor here as a road, but the river of change is actually the Untapped logo. You see our beautiful U? It's about the river of change. It's a deep metaphorical philosophy that Bryony and I love, is you should be flowing with the river when you're wanting to achieve what you want. You flow with the river. The riverbanks, our systems and structures are the support along the riverbanks, and you flow with the river. But if things aren't going right, you need to get out of the river and go upstream. And the further upstream you go, the truth you'll find. You know, rather than just going, oh, I didn't do the thing, I'm a piece of shit. It's like, okay, why didn't I do the thing? What is that familiar pattern? Where did I get this pattern from? What is happening in my nervous system? What is happening in my triad? What is happening in my identity? And then when we connect to that system, we can get back in the river and flow again. So patterns are the reoccurring situations or loops that we experience in our life, in our leadership, in our business. Classic, examples, self-sabotaging, relationship patterns, money mindset loops. You get money, then you got no money. You get a client, you got no clients. Relationship patterns, you're really good at perhaps meeting new people. You're the life of the party when you first meet people. And then when it comes to deeper, intimate relationships, you just switch off. And then, of course, self-sabotage. This is often the biggest pattern of many entrepreneurs, is we self-sabotage, whether through procrastination, doing the wrong thing, doing this, doing that, numbing. And we get to bring awareness to these patterns, because this is the cue, right? Cue, stimulus, response. This is the cue that we are disconnected. We get to pause and go, oh, I'm in my pattern. So uncovering just one of your patterns now is super, super important. So for you visual learners, this is when we're feeling great, when we're feeling good, when we're amazing and we're charging. And this is when we're not. This is an extreme where all three are disconnected. But this is what then creates our pattern. So an example, this is my classic go-to, right? I've got too many things to do. I feel overwhelmed and I numb. And my numbing is usually consuming more information. I learn. I try and learn my way out of the too many things I have to do. And you simply acknowledge that pattern. You may acknowledge where you learnt that pattern, because human beings are just mirroring machines. So most likely you have a parent that did this behavior, and you simply are doing that behavior in order to get their love. And if we get their love, then we will be loved and we can re-regulate ourselves. It's weird. It doesn't seem right. It's like, that's not a positive way to get love. But in the deepest core of anthropological human beings of who we are, we mirror to get love. We mirror people's body language, we mirror people's behaviors, we mirror our parents, whether we want to or not. So this is a cue for me. When I'm numbing, when I'm on the couch and I've opened YouTube, I'm disconnected. Now, sometimes 2 hours of YouTube go by. I'm not going to lie. But then I catch it. I go, ooh, I'm disconnected. What do I need to do to get back online? And like anything in life, these things are sneaky, but you can usually find your core pattern, the core thing you do, the core theme, right? For me, numbing was the thing, because in my early 20s, I numbed with drugs, and then I numbed with alcohol, and then I numbed through learning, and then I numbed through consuming, and now I'm kind of numbing through learning, consuming, and that's kind of my current healthier pattern, but it's still my pattern. What's one negative reoccurring situation in your life? In a particular situation, identify the pattern you go into. What is the impact these patterns have on your emotional, intellectual, and physical self? And what is the impact these patterns have on other people in your life? And who would I be if I was free from this pattern? And if you need some prompts for some particular patterns, this is a great list. So we have the hyperarousal coping. So if you're in the fight or flight archetype and you're constantly doing, constantly going, or you have lots of ideas and you run away, this might be one of your patterns. And there'll be a primary pattern you have. People pleasing, perfectionism, control, micromanaging, consistent urgency. Everything's urgent. Rushing, reactivity, snapping at others quickly, obsessive planning, what if thinking, high anxiety, even in stillness. And then for the hypoarousals, we are the procrastinators. We are the numbing on Netflix, on YouTube, on social media, food, whatever it might be, disconnecting from our body's emotions, avoiding decisions, avoiding responsibility, feeling stuck, foggy, apathetic. Apathetic is just numb. You don't really care about anything. You don't want to do anything. Why bother mindset? It's hopeless. Why should I bother promoting my thing? No one's going to show up. You know, that type of thinking. Withdrawing from relationships, lack of motivation and drive, and emotional flatness. So these are kind of core patterns. Yours might have its own unique flavor. Amazing. We have a couple shares in the chat that I'll just read out. You still have a few minutes to really jot down. Angus shared, I tend to isolate and get in my head, put on the accelerator and work like a machine. Over-responsible, reactionary, endless anxiety spirals, very hyper-aroused. Beautiful awareness. Yeah. Kaylee, I start to over-explain how I feel so as to make sense of what is going on intellectually. Then I reactively do a bunch of stuff to feel useful. Then I procrastinate, avoid responsibility, or numb. Through scrolling, through food, until somehow I get clarity, and then I fall into the lack of motivation drive due to the guilt. And that then helped to realize that her primary archetype is the idea oracle. Leading with the mind plus willful, but forgetting about the heart. Loose. I do whatever needs doing to feel a sense of achievement, even if it's bullshit jobs around the house. Yes, but I put off the big stuff that will grow my business. I think I want a sense of ticking stuff off, so I opt for what's easy. I end up with a disappointed feeling that I've left myself down, whatever I really want to achieve. And so the pattern goes on. Sandra, I know what I have to do to move the needle, achieve objects, but if I dislike it, like prospecting, and I do many other things, so I keep busy, avoiding patterns, but not moving the needle. Pattern, rushing, reactivity, not growing my business, nor my income stream. I keep playing small and staying in safe comfort zones. I need more grounding. We grow and heal together. It is bullshit to think that we can evolve ourselves on our own because we're social creatures. We're created by other people. Our names, for goodness sake, are given to us by other people, i.e. our parents. What is really ourselves other than how we are with other people and created through other people? So sharing what you're going through, sharing what you're creating, sharing all of these vulnerabilities is a beautiful way to get awareness, to grow, and to evolve. These patterns are not who you are, okay? Really let that land. Relax into that truth. These patterns are not who you are. They're what you learned to survive, to feel safe, or to gain approval. And gaining approval is just feeling safe in another way. To live a fulfilling and emotionally free life, we must recognize, understand, and ultimately transform these patterns. And Brian and I are living examples, along with our thousands of students who have taken through similar modalities like this for years. It is 100% possible to evolve and change. Otherwise, they unconsciously drive your thoughts, your decisions, your relationships, and often create unnecessary suffering. This is an active practice and a process to heal. Nothing is one and done in this world. Any quick fix or anything like that is BS. We must constantly practice and connect to our patterns, acknowledge them, because they're sneaky. You know, we go, oh, my pattern's watching Netflix. And then you delete your Netflix account and all of a sudden you've got a Disney Plus account and you're watching all your favorite childhood movies. You're like, this is different. It's not. It's the same, but a different flavor. So we have to constantly be bringing awareness to our patterns. Curious on how to unlock your own vision with the triad methodology? Click on the description below and you'll see links for the Vision Activation Challenge, a free 5-day series of videos, trainings to really help you connect and unlock your own vision and break the patterns that have been holding you back. Go, do it now. Love your work. D.